The West Bloomfield School District is committed to offering our students authentic learning experiences through our mentorship and internship programs. Two of those programs are medical mentorship and political leadership.
Hello, I'm Superintendent Jerry Hill. I'm here with Alicia Fly, Deputy Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. We're joined today by West Bloomfield High School teachers, Catherine Law and Chris Sturgill. Today, we're going to talk about one of the ways that West Bloomfield School District prepares our students for college and careers through two of our internship programs.
That's right, Dr. Hill. While our curriculum provides a variety of credited classes for all skills and interests, we also are fortunate to have partners throughout Oakland County who help support our programs by offering a broad range of learning experiences for our students. And Chris, you teach Biology 1, Human Biology, AP Biology, and Medical Mentorship. You also serve as the Department Coordinator for Science. Can you please talk a little bit about the Medical Mentorship Program, which West Bloomfield introduced over 15 years ago in partnership with Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital? Can you tell us how the students are able to combine their studies with experiences in the field of medicine?
Sure. So our students have taken a tremendous number of science classes that we offer. Most of our students that are in medical mentorship probably take between 5 and 6 classes. So that includes classes like biology, honors chemistry, AP biology, AP chemistry, AP physics, and human biology. So that really shows you that they have a lot of experience. And then when they step out into the workplace, shadowing doctors, they really get an opportunity to see when that material is actually going to get used and put to use.
And as I talk to students in the high school, they look forward to the sequence and the rigor of the courses that they take, and certainly when they have the opportunity to work in the medical field and get experience.
Absolutely.
Chris, I know that you're an advocate for inquiry-based science and that you believe that students learn the most when they are given an opportunity to experiment and experience the challenges that science offers. What evidence have you seen through this program that shows that their experience has been beneficial, and how has it been beneficial?
Well, when you have a student who drives down to downtown Detroit Medical Hospital, Henry Ford Hospital, and they're able to observe a medical procedure that takes 4 to 6 hours, and they come back as excited as you've ever seen someone, you understand that curriculum only takes you so far, but when you actually get to use the information, you get to see it put to work, it really drives students to understand that there's a goal, and it isn't a test. It's joining a career, and it's making sure that you're a professional at something, and they get to see that professionalism every day.
Great.
And Chris, you mentioned this briefly, but can you give us a sense of the high school component of the medical mentorship program? What does that consist of?
So the high school portion, students will apply for the program during their junior year. By that time, like we talked about earlier, the students have taken so many science classes, they've kind of earned their way into being able to use this experiential class. And so they'll spend about 30 to 60 hours per semester, depending upon the doctor's schedule, actually shadowing throughout the Metro Detroit area. So most of their time will actually be spent with doctors and not so much in a classroom. They'll be out practicing medicine as best the doctor allows them.
But having that science experience and the rigor of those courses in the high school setting probably gives the students a pretty good indication if this is a strong area of interest for them.
Oh, absolutely. So if you're going through the classes that these students are going through, whether it's the AP Bios and the AP Chems, they're getting a real strong sense of what they're interested in. But once you get out into the real world and you get to see it in practice, many of our students come back and they're just that much more excited.
I would think that this is a highly sought-after opportunity. What is the selection process for the students?
So the selection process is made up of looking at the student's achievement first. We will be looking at their GPA and how they've done in their classes, of course, but that's not the total student, and we understand that. We also look for students who have challenged themselves. So we do look at strength of schedule in terms of how many of our offerings they've been able to take advantage of. So that's a big piece of it. And then we also ask our teachers to evaluate our students in a number of different personal characteristics, work ethic, how gritty they are, how willing to work they are, and how much interest they actually show. So all of those things combine to help us evaluate our students and determine who is best suited for the program. And of course, every year there's a few kids that, they're not able to make the program, but our numbers are limited of how many we can take. But for the most part, our kids are really well qualified, and we feel very confident about putting them out in the shadowing program.
And Chris, what types of experiences are the students gaining?
There's lots of different experiences that our students gain. For example, this year I have a young lady who is with Dr. Irvin Cappy, who actually founded the medical mentorship program for us and initially sponsored it. So she's obviously shadowing a pediatrician. I have another student who is with the chief medical officer at Henry Ford downtown, and he does many surgeries with the students right there with them. So they scrub right in with him. That was a chief thoracic surgeon, excuse me. And then I also have some doctors that fall outside of the Henry Ford health system. So I have Dr. Kanu Varani, who is the Oakland County Medical Examiner, and he allows kids to come in and observe his criminal scenes, and he allows them to see autopsies. So we have a variety of different of placements that the kids have the opportunity to be in.
And I think it's a real testament to the program in that these community partners are always excited to welcome our West Bloomfield students back over again and again, which again just speaks to the caliber of our students and their reputation in the community. And similarly, Chris, many of today's physicians have stated that experiences early in their pre-medical education certainly affected their decisions to pursue careers in medicine. And I believe that this opportunity gives our students a different perspective on the possibility of a career in medicine. What kind of feedback do you get from the students about this experience?
So there's a variety of feedback that you'll get from students. Sometimes they're very surprised by the days that the day that a doctor has. Many of them believe that it's going to be like the TV show ER, and it's going to be always exciting, and everyone's going to be running around. And in fact, that's not the case at all for most of them. Many of our doctors are in a specialty, and as a result, they see a lot of the same types of cases come through. And so sometimes they're a little surprised by the redundancy. Our students have been very surprised by the amount of paperwork that doctors actually have to deal with, which is a reality. They're really excited about seeing the patients and getting to see different cases. At the same time, learning about bedside manner and learning how to be professional in a professional setting.
Lindsay Dufresne is one of your students in the program, and she's currently interning at Physiotherapy Associates. Let's take a look at what her experiences are like.
So in the beginning of the school year, we got together and were assigned different doctors. For about the first 2 weeks of school, we attended class every day. This is a 7th-hour class, so we have the opportunity to leave school and come to our doctor during that hour, or we can find a separate time. And we get together, I'd say, about once every 2 months just to go over how everything's going. Sturgill will give us different journals to fill out so he knows that we're attending our doctor and to see if we're enjoying our experience. My experience so far has changed my mind on the profession a little bit. Realizing that there is so much paperwork to do is something that turned me off a little bit, because you have to take notes on every single thing that you do, whether it is one exercise or if it's a different part of the body that's hurting them. Also, like having to make certain notes so that they can be universal, so they're not just my notes. But this definitely has convinced me that I do want to do it, because I enjoy interacting with patients. I enjoy getting to know them on a personal level. I enjoy working with them and helping them get better.
It looks as though there are a variety of opportunities for students to discover early on whether medicine could be a career path for them or not.
Absolutely. As you heard earlier, we've had a lot of students in many different specialties. And that's one of the goals of the program, is to try to get kids to see many different pathways, not just one pathway, for instance, pediatrics, but we have students that'll rotate through pediatrics and cardiology and neurology. Usually about 3 rotations is what we aim for in a year. So they can get a lot of different, a lot of variety in terms of the placements that they can have.
And Chris, we've certainly shared a few examples or highlighted a few examples of our student success already, but many of our students have been overwhelmingly successful in this and other programs in the West Bloomfield School District. In fact, one of our recent graduates became a Gates Millennium Scholar, which provided an opportunity for her to attend college as well as medical school cost-free on scholarship. She indicated that the medical mentorship experience played a significant role in her application to the program. Can you share a little bit about the impact of the application process and student engagement or involvement in the medical mentorship program?
Sure, that's the best case scenario, that you identify a student, you bring them into the program, they excel at the program, and then they decide, this is what I want to do. And so it is not uncommon for our students to use medical mentorship in their applications to get into colleges or special programs. I know that today that we've had students that are currently applying for medical school that are using their experience as a part of their own background and description and application. I know that we currently have students that are doing residencies at the University of Michigan and in downtown Detroit that still talk about medical mentorship. And I currently have actually doctors now that were a part of the program. And so we've come full circle in terms of this having an impact on students' lives.
So medical schools are increasingly looking for evidence that applicants have a realistic understanding of the various roles of physicians through shadowing and volunteer experiences in a clinical hospital setting. Clinical exposure opportunities can be difficult to find and intimidating for students. This appears to be a great opportunity for students. What are they learning outside of the medical aspects of the program?
That's a great question. I just had a student come back, Jason Mansour, the other day came back and told me, he says, Mr. Sturgeon, I love my placement. I says, well, tell me about it. And he says, it's not so much the placement as it is the interaction I get with the doctor. He says, he's taught me more about life than he really has, even about what's going on with the patients. He says that he's getting life lessons. He's learning that while it's difficult and it takes a lot of time management, and that's something that he didn't really quite understand, he said that the doctor has really told him how to focus on the important things, manage your time, and that there's hope. It's a hard profession, it's difficult, but it can be done. And so I was really happy to hear him come back and say that, you know, it's always nice when they come back and they say, we saw a great procedure, but it's always great when they connect as human beings with each other and they understand these are people. These are people, and they're really impacting the kids' lives at this point. So Jason's extremely excited, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes for him.
And Chris, it's just great to see your passion, not only about the program, but certainly about working so closely with the students. The medical mentorship program will become a part of the STEAM pathways for the West Bloomfield High School for the upcoming school year. And this will continue to provide students with a broad range of experiences and activity in the academic area and to have work in medical centers with opportunities ranging from cardiology to dentistry to veterinarian to radiology to physical therapy. What kind of feedback are you getting regarding this transition or this opportunity to really enhance an already very strong program and opportunities for students?
We're very excited to be a part of the STEAM program. We're looking forward to being able to potentially even expand the program and include more kids, because we do have more very great, good students that should be a part of this program. And so we're going to be offering medical mentorship, and we're also going to be offering a senior level course for kids as a capstone class as a part of the STEAM program. So we will be reaching out and looking for more involvement from the community, obviously, and we're very excited to be a part of it, and we're excited to see what happens here in the future.
Great. When we come back, we're going to look at another one of our STEAM pathways, which is political leadership.
Welcome back. We're here with Catherine Law, who teaches and has taught civics, economics, U.S. history, world history, sociology of genocide, AP world history, global studies of gender, and political leadership. Catherine also serves as the social studies, Coordinator. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you.
Hi, Catherine. You've been very busy working with our students at West Bloomfield High School, and you've also been teaching in the political leadership program for the past 6 years. And I know the program aspires to instill a value of public service in students. Can you tell us how the program actually works?
Sure. Students who are accepted into political leadership have an internship in their junior or senior year in a variety of placements, including local government, campaigns, political campaigns, which is going to be a big focus for this next school year especially. Law in terms of working with judges as well as local law firms. And also a semi-recent component has been the education component, where students are now in the district working with teachers in the elementary and middle schools, and also special education. And in the last year we've had a student working with the assistant principal at Abbott Middle School. And in addition to education, we also have students in a variety of community organizations and businesses.
Well, certainly that level of civic participation and leadership is very impressive.
And civic contributions provide great opportunities for students. How does this program help to broaden students' understanding of the government process?
It's really amazing. As they've been working with the West Bloomfield Township, especially the local office here, they've gotten to see the ins and outs of local government, which I don't think any of them recognized occurred before, working with the different projects that the township has to involve itself in, the Treasury Department, with the supervisor herself, in the assessing department, code enforcement, building department, all of these different departments that most of us never see day to day, and the students have been actively involved in their projects.
And students are evaluated each week by their supervisors in this program. What kind of response are you getting from their mentors?
The mentors are really excited. At first, when they come into the program, they don't quite know what to expect. But as I hear feedback from them and the students, it's really interesting that they are so excited to have someone to model what they do, to mentor these kids, to teach them. I hear all the time about the mentors, the supervisors themselves, talking to the students about, here's the college you should go to, and here's the types of programs you should be involved in, and here's the internships you should take, here's the classes you should take before you graduate high school. All this great advice that they're giving. And as Chris was saying earlier, it's not just seeing the actual job, but having that relationship with the mentor, somebody that they hopefully aspire to be, is really what's important about the program.
You mentioned the Treasurer's Office. One of our students, Grant Keevan-Manish, is interning at the Treasurer's Office in West Bloomfield Township under the supervision of Treasurer Terry Weingarten. Let's take a look.
As a student, you know, you can have a part-time job, but you're really limited as to where you can and cannot go, also depending on what your age is, whereas this program gives you an opportunity to experience, you know, more of a very professional job in a professional setting at the age of 16, 17, you know, when you're very, very young. So that way when you're going into college and after college into the workforce, you already had that experience. You know what you do like, what you don't like, what areas you're interested in and what areas you're not interested in. So that way it gives you more of an insight as to what you're interested in when it comes to your life and your eventually what your profession may be.
It's been a wonderful experience. First of all, you get to meet such bright, interesting students, because it takes a certain type of student to be interested in this type of program. It's self-directed. So they have to be responsible. You know, they contact us, they say, I want an internship. Is there one available? So that's them like applying for a job, providing a resume, filling out an application. Then if we agree to have them be an intern, they have to set a schedule. They have to communicate. They have to dress professionally. So it's really getting job skills in line that they're going to need for life, and it's really showing kind of an inner drive and interest that a lot of students at that age might not have. And these students do. I mean, it's amazing how professional they look when they walk in the door and how organized they are. And if they're not going to be able to come to their internship, they're very responsible to let us know, just like they would if it was a real job.
You know, through the media and through, like, you know, your peers and your parents and your school, you get one kind of idea of what it is in government and politics, and then coming here you really get to see what it really is like and what kind of tasks you're going to be doing and whether you find them interesting or not. And so it really did give me an insight as to, okay, this is what a government job is like. This is what a government position will be like for you in the future. You know, not a lot of schools have this kind of program. You know, a lot of students have to pursue these kinds of opportunities outside of school and on their own, whereas we actually have a class, we have help, we have a lot more resources to, you know, get these kinds of experiences before even going to college.
This looks like our students are gaining valuable experience. Catherine, can you tell us what other opportunities some of your students have experienced?
Sure. In the 6 years, there have been so many different experiences that the students have taken advantage of. There's been a handful that have been consistent. In addition to the West Bloomfield Township offices, Judge Barron at the 48th District Court has had several interns and has been great with them. Not only showing the kids the courtroom, but telling them what's going to happen beforehand, and then talking with them and having them analyze the procedures after the fact. It's really great for the kids to be able to see not just the courtroom experience, but also the inner workings of what he does and what he has to analyze.
After having all these experiences within the program, what kind of career aspirations have you seen from your students?
Again, we are so varied in what we offer that the career aspirations are almost everything that you can imagine. Most of the students will start off saying they want to go into law. And then as they hear about the other internships that are available, they start to broaden their scope a bit. Many students are interested in education and they know that, and they come into the program so that they can get that experience. Business, having a business idea of what it means to run a business in the community and be a community member is also something that they aspire to.
So as we move from aspirations to actual careers, and I know we're very fortunate at West Bloomfield High School that we often have students who return and to share with us their current career paths. Can you tell us some of the fields that graduates have actually gone into?
Sure. Seeing as the program is only 6 years old, just recently we've had those initial students in moving into graduate school and into their first careers. And so I am aware of a handful of them in particular. One student just started law school at Vanderbilt Law, and she was one of our very first students who was able to go with a lawyer and learn that firsthand experience. Another student was interested in politics at the time, and now she is working for the Hillary Clinton campaign in Washington, D.C., and works actually quite closely with the secretary.
The West Bloomfield School District is providing opportunities for students to develop their experiences through courses and field experience, giving them practical exposure in their chosen fields. In addition, we have discovered that our mentors become excited about their profession all over again by working with these bright, optimistic, and talented students. Thank you, Chris and Catherine, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. And if anyone is interested in learning more about how to be a partner in this community initiative, they can contact Chris or I at the emails listed below.
We have taken a closer look at two of our STEAM opportunities in the West Bloomfield School District, medical mentorship and political leadership, and how our teachers are helping students to become well-rounded individuals while gaining insight into their future career paths.